Hey guys, what's up? It's Quita from At Home with Quita. Welcome back to my channel. So glad you're here today. So we are doing another video in the series on how to use inserts from my shop. I get a lot of requests on how to use certain inserts and how I make them functional for my planning. So I decided to do a whole entire series. So I will have a whole playlist where you can just go into the playlist. You can find the inserts you're looking for. You can see how to use them, and hopefully that will help you in some way. So that's what we are doing today. We are going to learn how to use the Chronodex method. It is something new that I discovered, and you guys seem to really be fascinated with it, and so am I. So I'm going to show you how to use the inserts in my shop that are called Chronodex Day Planner inserts. So if you're new to my channel, I hope you'll stick around and consider subscribing. I also hope that you'll love it here, so much so that you will consider subscribing and that you will also give me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy it. So let's jump in. If you want to see how to use the Chronodex Day Planner, make sure to stay tuned. So what you're going to need, of course, are the Chronodex Day Planner inserts. I have them in a A5 size, half letter size, and classic Happy Planner size. I happen to use half letter right now, so I'm going to show you how to use them in half letter size, but they all look the same. So you're going to need, of course, the Chronodex Day Planner inserts, which look like this. It looks very interesting and very confusing, and also a little bit intimidating. And so I'm going to show you how simple they are to use. So you're going to need the insert, of course, and then if you're planning on color coding, which I think is the best way to use them, you're going to need some markers, and I happen to have my Tombow markers, which I adore. So I have them in multiple colors, so you have to determine how many you need based on the amount of appointments that you're needing, which you're going to color code everything. And so let's get started and write some things in, and I'm just going to show you how to use them. They are very simple. Trust me, I know they look intimidating, but they're very simple to use. So I'm going to grab the pen of my choice, which is my Muji pen. You could use whatever pen fits you. And the first thing that you're going to do is just go ahead and write in the date. So let's say that it is for today, which happens to be June the 17th. So I'm going to write 6/17/2020 at the top. And the next thing that you're going to do is write in your goal for today. So my goal typically is to focus on family and spiritual things. That is always my goal. And also I have to work, so I tend to focus on that, but I try not to focus on it as much, but sometimes that's hard. So I like to just write in something that's going to help me with that, hopefully, where I can refer to it and I can say, this is my goal, make sure you're on track with that. And you could also write in a quote here. It's up to you, but there's options. But I like to write in my goal for today. So I'm going to say my goal is to focus on spiritual things and spending time with my family and working less, which is probably most of our goals, right? I'm going to write this big because this is a real issue for me. So the Chronodex method is great for just breaking down your day, just to kind of have a great place to just dump out everything that you need for that particular day and have it broken down into sections. So there's multiple sections here. So again, that was the goal section. This is where you're going to kind of map it all out, and you're going to see it in color, and you can kind of see how your day looks at a glance. This is the today's plans, where you're going to put in your schedule for the day. You have a tasks for today, like a to-do list, urgent things that need your attention, like immediately. You have your meal planner, you have your health and fitness section with your water intake, and then you also have your grateful thought, any notes you want to write in, and then you can go ahead and start writing in some tasks for tomorrow, so that way when you flip to the next day, they're all double-sided, then you can go ahead and just transfer that from yesterday to today. I love these, y'all. I really do. This is just great for those super busy days. Every day is not super busy for me, but when I do have those just overwhelming days where I know it's going to be a lot to be done, these are perfect for that. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to start the color coding process. So you're going to figure out what appointment you have, whether it be you have it written on your monthly calendar or on some sort of list or to-do list or sheet of paper. You're going to transfer that here. So you have to see what colors you want to use to represent what things. It really doesn't matter. I like to spread it out because I like to have different colors in different places. And so I just kind of randomize it. So I, again, have these markers here from Tombow, which are just the hand lettering markers. They have, or the dual tip markers is what they're called. So they've got the hand lettering side on this side, and then they've got the other smaller tip on this side. So you could use either one. I find that for what I'm about to do, this is the best end to use because you're going to kind of slide it across depending on the duration. So it goes from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And so let's say, and again, this is just for the purposes of showing you how to use it. This isn't necessarily my schedule. So let's just kind of start writing some things in. So let's say when I get up in the morning, I want to do my daily text. So you're going to go from 7 to 8 and just mark off that color. And then you're going to write in what that represents. Now you can write it on top of the color or you can write it underneath it. I find that it works just fine for me to just write it right below. And this is a 0.7 Muji pen. So it really doesn't matter which type of pen you use. I like to have a thicker ink. So 0.5 works great. But I like to just see the wording just a little bit more. So let's say I want to do that, and then I want to do some morning chores. So let's pick a different color, and I want to make sure that I kind of have the color set to the side so I know which color I already used. So let's use this pinky color to indicate morning chores, and I'm hoping that my morning chores would only be for an hour. These are hour slots. And so you can fit as many things as you need to within those hour time periods. Well, within the space that you have. So let's say that's my morning chores. You could also plan this way if you like, if it works better for you to just take the marker that way and then write on top of it. It's completely up to you, but I find that this is aesthetically pleasing and it seems to be the more functional way to do this. So that's that. And so then let's say we want to do our errands from 8 to 10. So you would take this, and I like to kind of, place the marker in different places kind of for a staggered look so you can kind of see the variation between the different time frames. So let's say from 8 to 10 is going to be my errand time. So I'll write errands. All right, and then let's say I want to run to the post office between 10 and 11. I'm going to go here between 10 and 11, and then I'm going to write in post office run. You can abbreviate it because you are limited in space when it comes to the half letter and the A5 size. Classic, just to show you scale, because you might be interested in that. And actually someone on my Facebook page said that the only way to really do this justice, this insert justice, is to go classic. And I feel like classic is a great size. As you can see, it is very different in size. A5 is a little bit in the middle, but it's more so on the half letter size. It's just a little bit wider and a little bit shorter. So that is the two different sizes. I think both of them do it justice because I do use half letter and it works just fine. But as you can see with the classic size, you've got a lot more space to work with. So I just thought I would show you scale. So again, 3 sizes for now. I don't really think that mini is going to do this justice. It's just going to be too tiny. But if that's something you want to see, let me know. I was also asked to do this in big size, which I may do sometime in the future, not right now, because I just feel like big size isn't very popular for my shop, maybe for others, but for my shop, big size doesn't really get sold that much. So we'll see. Maybe in the future I'll do that. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. So let's say I want to work from 11 to 3. So we'll take a different color and we'll go from 11 to 3. You see why these work so well, because you can just kind of press on it just lightly and get that perfect line. So let's say work. All right. And then from 3 to 5, I want to spend time with my family. So we'll go from 3 to 5. And again, I like to stagger it. I think it looks better. Family time. Okay, and then let's say I want to clean from 5 to 6. And then from 6 to 7, we want to have dinner done, prepped, and eaten. So 6 to 7. I'm sorry. And you can overlap too. So if you have something that goes from 4 to 6, you can do that. It's completely up to you with whatever your schedule is. So just know that you can overlap it as well. Okay, so I said dinner from 6 to 8. So that's 2 hours to prep and eat. So 6 to 8, where do I want to put that? Okay, and then lastly, from 8 onwards, I want to relax. So again, these go from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that's how you would fill that in. Isn't that super pretty? And then once you fill this in, then you want to go ahead and fill in your actual visual part of this. Well, not that that's not visual, but this is going to correlate with this. So we're going to fill that out next, and this is the super fun part as well. So let me explain to you how this works. So let me take you off that focus. I wanted to make sure that you saw everything I was doing. So if you notice, there's lots of lines and different sections and stuff like that, and that could be a little bit confusing. So I'm going to show you how that all works. Okay, so this spot right here, these dotted lines right here are in 10-minute increments. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There's 6 of them. So if you have a 10-minute task, you would color that in. If you had a 30-minute task, you would color the 3 of those in. Okay, you got that? And then the second section here is for the hours. As you can see, from 12 to 1. This is a 24-hour time frame as well, which I love. So that will be 12, that will be 1. After you get to 12 p.m., then you would go 13 would be, this is military time. 13 would be 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m. Then we get back to 1 p.m. Then we get to 1 a.m. and so forth. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 12 a.m., 1 p.m. You get that? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because I think I'm almost confused myself. So this is basically a 24-hour time frame. So you want to start here if you have a task at 1 a.m. Okay? And so our first task, oh, and then let me explain to you the last section. This is 3 hours. So it's pretty self-explanatory once you realize that this is minutes, this is hours, and then this is 3 hours. So 10-minute tasks go in there. You can do 60 minutes because you've got 10 of them. So you can color that whole thing in at the bottom if you want, but you kind of want to see the variation. So you want to use the appropriate slot if you can. And then the second section again is for hours, 1 to 2. And then this is 3 hours. So that's cool, right? So it's simple once you get it explained to you, right? So let's go ahead and start coloring some of this in. So remember, from 7 a.m., I have to do my daily text, and I also have my morning chores. So I'm going to pick the 2 colors that I used, which were this brown color, and I think I used this pink color. Okay, I should have probably kept them in order. All right, so you're going to find 7 a.m. So remember, 1 a.m., 7 a.m. Okay, and it's not a 10-minute task, it is an hour task. So I want to come here. Remember, you could either color in the whole thing right here for 60 minutes in 10-minute increments, or you can just go here and color in from 7 to 8, which is the easiest thing to do. Okay, and I do have 2 tasks to do within that time frame. As you can see, I've also got my morning chores. My daily text technically is not going to take me an hour, so I really should have done that in the 10-minute slot. My morning chores is probably what's going to take me an hour. So I'm going to color down here. So just take note of that. Although I did put it between that whole time frame, I really should have just put a half a line or a quarter of the line there, so that way I could see that it's a shorter time frame task. So as you can see, you can log in multiple tasks that need to be done within that time frame. And even if you had a third one, you could just kind of make your own little line there in terms of the 3 hour mark there. You would just kind of makeshift make it into, you know, one more section if you had another task. But you really, the idea of this is to break things down. Like all three of those things aren't going to be done at the same time. So try to be as descriptive as possible. So I did a little fumble on that, but you get the gist of it. So then I want to take my next color, which is this lighter blue. From 8 to 10, I have errands. So here's the 8 o'clock slot. I'm ending at the 10 o'clock slot. I'm going to use the hour ones because I probably would be out for 2 hours doing errands. So 8 to 10. Errands. You see how simple that is? Okay. And then I want to make a post office run, which isn't really going to take me an hour, but I'm going to give myself an hour because sometimes I'll stop at other places too. But again, this is just a sample. This really isn't technically my schedule. I'm talking to you as if this would be like a typical day. Although these are tasks that I would do, just trying to kind of talk to you as if this is something that's really going to happen. So from 10 to 11, I'm going to, again, mark myself in the hour spot because I feel like it probably would take an hour, although post office is not that far. Okay, and then work is from 11 to 3. Okay, so that's 4 hours, right? So 11, so I can mark one slot here in 11, and then a 3-hour slot here. So 12, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to this point here. So you see how the 3-hour time frame works? And it's just cool to be able to see the variation between, you know, the time frames. So I love that. Love, love, love it. I'm obsessed with these. And then next from 3 to 4, or actually 3 to 5, is family time. And that's just 2 hours. So we don't need a 3-hour slot. So we would just do 3, 12, 1, 2, 3. I'm just trying to indicate just so you know how it works. 12, 1, 2, 3. So 3 o'clock p.m. would start here. And I would go 3, 4, 5. So I would stop here. See how that works? So this is just so therapeutic. It's so fun. I love doing this. I know it seems like a lot of work, but it really helps people to see, like, what am I doing during the day? How is it broken down? When am I starting? Am I getting up too late? You know, things like that. Those things matter, you know, and helping you to achieve your goals. So next, to clean, and that's from 5 to 6. So that's just an hour time slot, 5 to 6. Okay, and then from 6 to 8 is dinner. Okay, and then 8 onward, I want to relax. And so you can also, a good idea is to put when you want to go to sleep. I'm a late person. I typically don't go to sleep till like 1 a.m. So you would come over here, and that whole relax section would be because it doesn't go past this on here for relaxing. So I want to go to bed earlier. And so that's one of my goals. I should have probably put that there as well. So I want to just indicate when I want to go to sleep. And a good time for me is 11. So I'm going to do one of these. And then I'm gonna do 2 more because it is 3 hours, but it falls in a different spot. Okay, so you see how that works? Very easy, very, very easy. You could write the month in the middle if you want. So I could write June 2020 in the middle, or I could write the date if you just want to see it more in front of you. But I might just leave it blank because I think it looks pretty like that. So that's how you would color code all of this in. And then the next is just a matter of filling in those additional tasks and to-do list items. So urgent for me is always my Bible reading. I like to start the day off with Bible reading and daily text. So I want to put that, that's why I put it in the middle, because it's like, boom, do this now. You know what I mean? It's like just urgent. I also want to, and also another urgent task is to study with the kids. And I'm going to put Addison because Malachi's study is on Saturday. And then also I want to have, from time to time, we like to have a family game night. Remember, I'm just writing this for you, just so you can see how easy they are to use and kind of some things that you can put in different spots. Okay, so that's kind of how you would fill that section in, just basically a running to-do list. And I love a to-do list style of planning. I'm actually using the vertical line planner, and that's kind of like a to-do list style of planning, which has just been working for me because sometimes I tend to write the same things in every day when I'm using the subject style layout. So it's working a lot better for me in business and social media planning. So this is kind of like this is still kind of like and so to me, this is kind of like a to-do list planning style. And it's just been working for me just to kind of write in a to-do list of items as opposed to something for every single subject. Although you kind of do mentally have it split out into subjects. So this is kind of what that is. Okay, and then in terms of meal planning, let's just write in some things. Let's say we're having spinach omelet for breakfast. So you have a place for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. And let's say for lunch, we're having tacos. For dinner, we're having spaghetti. And then for snacks, I'm gonna have some almonds. Okay, and then you would come in and you would write a grateful thought. So what I tend to do in this section is I like to look up a quote, something that I'm just feeling at that moment, you know, something that inspires me. Okay, I like this quote that says, small steps in the right direction can turn out to be the biggest step of your life. So I'm gonna write that in. And you can also write in something you're grateful for that day. That's really what this section is for. But sometimes I like to just pop in a quote. So it's completely up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. All right, so that is the grateful thought section. Again, pop in a quote if you want, or pop in what you are grateful for that happened that day. So then we get to health and fitness. So you can write in your workout for that day, if you want to take vitamins that day, anything health and fitness related, how many steps you did that day. So let's say I did steps. You can write in your Apple Watch tracker stats. And let's say I did 5,000 steps. You can also write in your goal and then check it off if it's completed. And then let's say I want to take my vitamins and I want to go to the gym. I know we're not going to the gym right now. And then you can put what you want to do, cardio. Okay, and then you'll want to put in your water intake, of course, based on how many you drink that day. And then tomorrow tasks, you'll do, whatever you want to do tomorrow. So I'm going to write in daily text, which is done daily, but I want to remember to do that. And then let's see, what else could you write in? Just anything that you want to remember to do that next day. So let's say that, and then Bible. And then let's say I have a dentist appointment. And let's say I want to go do my grocery shopping. So you can check it off today, because sometimes when you write those tomorrow's tasks today, you sometimes can go ahead and check them off today. Especially if this is filled up, this is additional space as well. So just take note of that these don't necessarily have to be tomorrow's tasks. You can white that out and just use it as an ongoing list if you have or need more additional space. And then notes is just whatever notes that you want to write in for today. You can also use this as a grateful thought. You can write a quote here. It's completely up to you. You can also write in like how your day went, if you feel like there were wins, there were losses, things you want to. You can also write in wins, losses, things that you did well today, things you want to work on for tomorrow. So let's say I want to work on getting up earlier. That is a real challenge for me. Getting up earlier. I would love to get up at like 7 a.m. I don't get up that early, y'all. So you can kind of put it as a goal for tomorrow and stop procrastinating, whatever. You want to write in. It's completely up to you. So you have that whole section there. And so as you can see, I still have some room left over, and this is half letter size. So of course you'll have a lot more space with the classic size, but this is still a good amount of space, y'all. And so this is how you would use the Chronodex method day planner, which I'm obsessed with, as you can see. You see why, right? Again, it's just perfect for just breaking down your day. So you can color code or not color code. These are the best markers I have found, but there are a ton of markers on the market. So you don't have to get the Tombow markers. I do have these on hand because I'm an ambassador with Tombow, so they send me a ton of stuff. So I always have them on hand. As you can see, there is no bleed through. We love no bleed through, right? And so you can start the next day fresh and do this all over again. And let's say you don't have to break down tomorrow. You can store this for later and then flip it over and write it in for a different day. It doesn't have to be consecutive days. So it doesn't have to be for the 18th. You can do it for July or whatever. You've got options there. So I love the Chronodex day planner. I'm obsessed with it. It's so pretty. When you put it in your planner, it just makes you want to use it. So you would just kind of pop this into a weekly spread, and that way you would have it to refer to on that particular day. You can even highlight that if you want, and that's why I said maybe in the middle there you may want to put the day, so that way you know what specific day this is for. But the Chronodex method of planning is so fascinating. If you put in a keyword on Instagram, Chronodex method, you can come up with tons of inspiration. You don't have to buy this insert again. This series is just to show you how you would use my inserts, but you don't have to buy them. There's no pressure for that. You could draw this all out. You can bullet journal it. It's completely up to you. There's so much inspiration on Instagram and also on Pinterest. So you can just look this up and then kind of see what works for you. But I wanted to show you how to use my printed inserts. Eventually I will have them in half letter. I will have all of the inserts in half letter as digital. Right now I don't have any digital half letter inserts, and that's because I'm just so overwhelmed with everything I have going on. But eventually I will add that to the shop, but I do have a ton of other sizes available, and this will actually, I think just one, maybe classic size. So you can print that out and you know, you have it, you know, at your fingertips at home. You don't have to wait for a shipment to arrive. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You got a little bit more insight. You figured out and now know how to use this Chronodex day planner, which I'm obsessed with. So I have a ton of more videos coming with how to use inserts in my shop. I have probably over 500 products. I'm not going to do a video for each one of them, but I'm going to pick some of the popular ones. If you're not in my group, make sure to join my group. I did do a poll in there asking you guys which inserts from my shop you wanted to see me do how-to videos on. And you guys gave me a ton of ideas, so I'm just going to pick them one by one and start chipping away at them. I'm trying to do them with the most popular inserts, and this is one of them. And I'm just going to keep this thing moving forward, and I'll put them in a playlist on my YouTube channel, so that way you can just click on that playlist, find the insert you're looking for, and you'll be able to see exactly how to use it. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm enjoying this series so far. This is just video 2. Not sure which order these videos are going to go up in, but I've got some stuff coming, guys. So just rock with me, okay? Stay tuned. And so thank you guys again for joining me. Hopefully you guys will consider subscribing to my channel if you're new here, and you will also give me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy it. Comment below, let me know what you think of the Chronodex method. Is it something that you've used before? What do you think of these inserts? Is it something that you're willing to try? I would love to hear from you. So again, I appreciate you stopping by today. Hopefully you'll come back and catch me for another video, in which case I'll see you then.